Hi, Travis families and students. Here's a video on how to use the virtual math manipulatives on Think Central. You'll want to start in the Launchpad and go into Learning Resources. Here, you'll choose Think Central. Here in Think Central, you will click on My Library. In My Library, you will click on Virtual Manipulatives. Now, this is an example for first grade, so you see grades kindergarten through second here. You might have a different grade level available. But when you click on it, a window will pop up. And when it pops up, you may need to enable the Flash player, so that's just something to look out for. Here in the menu, you can see all of the options that you have for virtual manipulatives. It's pretty great that we have access to all of this online. Here are some examples of what you have access to. For counters, you can show objects and count them. So you can choose blocks, balls, cubes, bears, shapes, and more, all through the menu there. So you choose your object and you can start putting out blocks. You can change colors to show other ones. Now here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blue blocks, 1, 2, 3 orange blocks. So 4 and 3 together make 7. You can check it. And you can also line up the objects so that they're in a nice row. And you can always add more objects. You can erase the whole work mat, so clear all of the space. You can also erase certain items by clicking erase. It makes a fun little sound. And then you can clear the entire work mat this way. Okay. You can also compare objects. So maybe you want to compare 5 and 3. Now here you see there are options. If you hover over the question mark, there's a greater than, equal to, and less than symbol. You can put in the correct one and see if you're right by clicking check. Again, you have the option to line up the objects. And then if you put it in, it will tell you if you're correct or not. Ta-da! You can also add, subtract, multiply, divide, and explore. Here in Add, you can see it will put in the numbers for you, and you can have it add for you. Put them together, and then you can count them up. And you can put in your answer and check it. It has the equations horizontally and vertically, so you get practice with both. You can also hover over the fact family to see the fact family number sentences. In Subtract, you can line them up here. And then when you want to subtract, you click on the Subtract, and then you can take them away. So here, the fact family looks different, and you can answer the question. If you want to go back to the main menu, you click on the menu button. Number bonds are a great place, especially for primary, where you can show the whole and the parts. You can choose to start with the whole, or you can start with the parts. So maybe I want to start with the parts, and I'm going to build my parts. And here I can start putting in the numbers. So 3 is a part, 2 is a part, and I can show my whole, put them together to figure out, am I correct? I am. Also in number bonds, you can show the number balance. Now this is a great tool where you can put parts on one side and a whole on the other side. So 7 and 3, if I think that makes 6, I can try that. Now you notice it does not balance yet, so I might erase and find something that it does balance. And here again, you have the options of greater than, equal to, or less than. So you can put in the symbol and check it. And you can also put in more than one or two tabs on a side. So maybe you're adding 3 numbers and you want to find the whole, or maybe you want to balance both sides with multiple tags. So that's another option for you as well, and it shows the number sentences down here. Base 10 blocks is a really great area to work in. This is just for building numbers in the base part, so you can show your tens and your ones. You, of course, can line them up. And it will show you what the number is below. You can compare, so you can put some above. I'm just clicking to add these options. You can line them up. And then you can compare this way. You can also add and subtract. So if you want to add base 10 blocks, you can start with just ones, or down here below, you can go to tens or even hundreds. So if I want to add some tens together, I can choose my tens and my ones and add them up. Now, when I add them, it will line it up properly. If I have so many ones that I need to regroup, I can do that up here with these tools. And when I'm subtracting, it's going to be a great tool to break apart a 10 into ones. And it will do that virtually for us. Number lines is another great place to play, work, explore. You can use a number line to add. So if I want to start at 2 and I want to add 2 more, it will show you the steps to get there on the number line. You can search on the number line up. You can go down. And you can also add, subtract, skip count, multiply, and explore. If you want to skip count, you can start at 0 and you can count by 2s, and you can go as high as you would like here and show the jumps. You also have number charts, bar models, graphs, fractions, geometry, measurement, algebra, and probability. In graphs, you have a lot to explore here as well. You can put in a title here, and you can also choose which direction you want the graph to go. You can have it horizontal or vertical. And you can set how many rows you would like. So maybe I want to have 4 objects here, and I can choose what the objects are. You can do it by name, or you can have a symbol. So maybe you want to compare boxes of crayons and other school supplies, so maybe books and pens and pencils. And as you saw here, there are plenty of options you can explore, everything from animals to shapes to other random objects here. Okay. Now you can put in how many, and it will start graphing for you. So this is a great opportunity to explore graphing and compare objects and numbers. In fractions, you can access parts here. You can also compare and explore. You also have fractions of circles and 2 color counters. So if you want to show parts this way, you can do that. In geometry, you see there are plenty of shapes to explore. You can tell how many corners or vertices there are. You can see different views of the shapes, and you can also access these plane shapes, which are the flat shapes. You can explore area and perimeter and more. Here are the flat shapes, which you can say tell the number of sides and show the name. In measurement, you have some balance scales where you can put in objects to balance them out. You also have clocks, calendar, and money. These are definitely going to come in handy a little bit later in first grade and maybe early on in second grade. So you can change the time on the clock. You can work on minutes. You can look at a digital clock, and you can look at both. So this is a very handy tool to practice with for telling time. You can also look at the calendar here. So you can practice looking at weeks, months, days, years, and you can put in more and create calendars. So a lot to play around with there. Money, you can practice with different coins and bills. You can also make change. In number charts, you have a hundreds chart here. You can also keep going higher and higher to practice, and you can show patterns, showing even and odd numbers. It will highlight it for you. You can also add by using the 100 chart. You can subtract by using the 100 chart. This is a really great tool for you to use, a good resource. You can also change the colors if you want to use a different color to highlight. You can explore all of these areas and more, and you can use them as resources and tools while you are doing your math work.